Who is Sodom and Gomorrah? Where is Sodom and Gomorrah? Learn about Sodom and Gomorrah. Why were they destroyed? It's kind of like Judgment Day, when the world will be destroyed. It's going to be kind of like Sodom and Gomorrah. Why? Because they practice sin. They fail to obey Yahweh's commandments. They become an abomination in Yahweh's eyes. That's why Judgment Day comes. When people fail to obey Yahweh's commandments, the world becomes Sodom and Gomorrah. Where can it be found? It's all around us. And our governments allow it. The ruler of the world allows it, Sodom and Gomorrah, to happen. Why? Because they follow sin, the devil. And we're not dealing with flesh, Paul said. We're dealing with evil spirits of this world. There's a lot about evil spirits that we don't know. Think about your thoughts. Where do your thoughts come from? Sometimes evil spirits will put thoughts into your head to do bad things. And you become deceived with evil thoughts and evil spirits. So these rulers of the world are corrupted with evil spirits, evil thoughts, and they allow these things to control and take over mankind. So the world is full of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why Judgment Day is coming. So who wants Judgment Day? And who wants Sodom and Gomorrah? It's kind of like Adam and Eve. Don't eat from that tree of good and evil, because then you'll become like gods and you know all things. Well, Sodom and Gomorrah is kind of like the same thing. Don't eat from that tree. The whole world chooses to think it's good and evil at the same time, but yet they still eat from it. Why? Because they think it's so good. But is it really good? Is Judgment Day really going to be good? Or is it going to be evil? And what's going to cause Judgment Day? Is it really that great? Is it really that good? It's the breaking of Yahweh's commandments. So Sodom and Gomorrah, basically they did a lot of bad, evil stuff. It's kind of like what you find on the computer today. The internet, it's in videos, it's in music, it's in movies, it's on TV, it's in magazines, it's all over the world. So when they started doing away with Yahweh's commandments, they started following Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's why Judgment Day is coming, because they follow the wrong ruler. They follow the lie. They follow the serpent. They follow the bad things of this world. They follow sickness. They follow disease. The evil spirits put the thoughts in their heads, and they choose to see things that are not good for them, to believe that they are good. A lot of people do things and they suffer because they make the wrong choices. Their family, their friends, their loved ones, they go into the world and they suffer. Nobody wants suffering. But yet, there's something that keeps bringing them back, and that's their thoughts. It's a spirit that puts the thoughts in your head to cause you to do what you don't want to do, what you know is not good for you. So it's kind of like you have drug addiction, you have alcohol. There's a lot of addictions that are out there, whether it's eating too much or any kind of an addiction. Could lead to bad things. If you're not eating the right kind of foods, you're destroying your temple, which belongs to Yahweh. We're supposed to take care of our temple. We're supposed to put in good things, so that way we live a long, happy life, so we could serve Yahweh better by teaching His commandments and helping people so they don't have to suffer. It was never meant for us to suffer in this world, because Yahweh's commandments, the seeds, everything was perfect in the beginning, until the ruler, mankind, decided to break Yahweh's commandments by allowing all these things to happen and go into the world. So Yahweh's people were never supposed to allow these things to happen. Yahweh's people were supposed to rule the world and conquer it, and not accept birth defects, miscarriage, all these things to come into play. And what leads all these things? The breaking of Yahweh's commandments. So that's why we suffer today, because of the serpent, the ruler of the world. And who's going to take the step, the initiative to study Yahweh's commandments? Who's not going to judge his book by the cover? Who's not going to judge his commandments? Who's going to sit down, read his scriptures, and say, Yahweh put this commandment here for a good reason? After all, he is the creator of us. Who are we to sit down and say he is wrong? Who are we to question him? Who are we to tell him that his commandments are wrong? After all, he created the world, he created everything, he created mankind. Who knows more than him? Only he knows all things. We know nothing. I know nothing. We know absolutely nothing. The minute you think you know something, you know nothing. Basically, does like the scriptures tell us, does the pot say to its maker how it wants to be created? Or does the pot say, you're making me wrong? Just think about it. You're making a pot. Is the pot going to talk back to you? Or are you going to create the pot the way you want to create it? And that's the way Yahweh created things. In the beginning, everything was perfect, until the serpent came along and deceived people. So now we have deception. We have lies. We follow the serpent. We follow sickness. We follow disease. What's the number one killer? Heart attacks? Heart strokes? Why is that? Why is we have suffering? It's all because we're being poisoned in our food by chemicals. You think they're doing that on purpose? Yahweh says don't mix seeds. We're supposed to have a farm. 6 years you do your garden. 7th year you let it rest. 6 days you work. 7th day you rest. Your body needs to rest. He freed us from slavery. He gave us Saturday off. Friday night to Saturday night we have off. To keep it holy, to study Yahweh's commandments, to become unity as one, to regain Yahweh's kingdom, to bring it back. Because those are the only people that are going to be left in the last days, which are now. Because nobody knows the day or the hour, but the signs are here. The technology's here. Nuclear war. They have enough nukes to blow up the world. And as soon as they get enough, they can't wait to make this thing happen, because they've been dying to make these things happen for a long time. They just had to make sure everything falls into place. And that's the ruler of the world. That's the serpent. He comes to steal and devour, and he wants to rule the world. And everybody's greedy and full of power, and they always want more. They can never be satisfied for what they have. So every ruler says, I'm going to do it. And they're very anxious to see Judgment Day. Peace, Shalom.